Nothing beats a summer abroad, but when traveling far from home, it's always nice to bring along an old friend from the neighborhood. Cobblestones and Café de Flore. Serena's locked down the left bank and become a muse to us all. Meanwhile, Blair rules the right bank, storming the shops and consuming the classics and sampling sugary snacks like a modern Marie Antoinette. But we hear Serena's stories sizzle while Blair's are more fizzle. Hey, all you gossip-loving people. Welcome to Season 4 of 3 Gossip Girls, a Gossip Girl podcast. I'm Liz.
I'm Michelle.
Tonight we watched the opening Season 4, Episode 1, Belles de Jour. Original air date September 13th of 2010. Written by Joshua Safran and Stephanie Savage, directed by Mark Pisnarski. After having spent her Parisian summer alone, Blair hopes to change things when she meets a handsome young man who may be a real prince. Meanwhile, back in New York, Georgina and Dan's secret comes to light, and Nate meets a girl who seems refreshingly down to earth after a summer of Chuck Bass rejects. Chuck is still MIA, which causes Lily to worry. It's been a minute.
Yeah, I'd be worrying too.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a minute since we've sat down and talked about Gossip Girl.
Well, yes,
It's
I mean,
crazy.
should we start there?
Yeah, we have not been recording since November.
I know.
Feels weird.
It feels good to be back.
It feels good to be back. We had a nice break.
Yeah.
Recoup and on to Season 4. And what I've heard, this is a lot of people's favorite season. So
many people have said the first couple of episodes of Season 4 are their favorite episodes.
Yes, my sister even included said that the last two into this season, last two of last season to the first two of this season are like her favorite episodes of the entire series. So yeah, different feel tonight.
It was
Paris.
good though. It was good. I like when we are abroad or we're visiting other places and shooting on location.
Yes, they were definitely in Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah, they shot there. So tonight we drank a Parisian drink, a mimosa.
Ooh la la.
Yes, because why not French? And it was easy and delicious, except I used Prosecco instead of champagne. But hey, we're Americans. So I titled it Parisian Prince.
Cute.
Thank you.
Cute coming through. So cute.
Yeah, so I just wanted to refresh Michelle's memory, even though we've already spoken about it. But if in case anyone was wondering what the 3 gossip words for last season were, Prince, missing, and sharp.
Great choice of words, Liz.
Yeah, so now the first two, okay, you can understand. The last one, however, I feel like I was like patting myself on the back, and I didn't know if it was going to come across because they don't actually state it until I think maybe next week. But you see on her name tag, her name is Juliet Sharp.
Which when I saw that, I was like, oh.
She's like, Sharp. Oh, Sharp?
Your gossip word is coming through.
Yes, so we meet a new character tonight. Actually, we meet 2 new characters because Louis does stick around for a little bit. But Juliet Sharp, played by Katie Cassidy.
Which you gave me a little...
I gave her a little
behind
trivia.
the scenes trivia when we were watching about her.
So, she sticks around for a little bit. So, we should jump right into the episode.
Let's get into it.
Okay, the episode begins. Our gals... They're frolicking around Paris, and with no surprise, Serena is like painting this gorgeous model in her dress, her shirt that has
I love it
without the pants,
right?
Yeah.
The oversized like men's
the
dress
Nate
shirt.
the Nate dress shirt, her favorite shirt.
Right.
It's like a version, her Parisian version of that,
or smock.
Yes, and Blair is eating her way through Paris, which would be me.
I mean, same.
Yeah. She's like by the Eiffel Tower eating her macarons and her coffee and whatever. And I was like, Blair is me. The two seem to be loving every minute of their shopping and eating and boys, except Blair hasn't really had the latter part. She is not really making any headway in that department, but shocker, Serena is.
I mean, duh.
She's making headlines even on Gossip Girl. Hot fire flames are going everywhere. But, her and Nate broke up, so she's got to She's got to go out on the prowl.
I mean, not only did her and Nate break up, but then you have like, you know, the situation.
The situation.
The Padge.
The Padge situation.
Yeah.
So, and they shed a lot of, they keep talking about this situation. And I'm like, wait, I even forgot that situation happened because that's how minuscule to me it was, you know? But they are having lunch and Serena mentions to Blair that she needs to get off her phone because they promised they're not checking Gossip Girl all summer. They made a pact. But Blair is like, you know, just curious, and she's wanting to see if maybe Chuck has made an appearance on Gossip Girl, but he's been MIA since he left for Prague, which we all know what happened, but nobody else knows what's going on. So as we said, Serena has been busy in the boy department, but Blair is still hopeful she'll maybe find a sort of a companion or at least go out on a date before they leave to go back to New York.
How many months has it been?
So I'm pretty sure they left either beginning of June.
Okay.
Or end of May even. I mean, when we wrapped for season 3, I think it was May, but end of school year is usually like May, June.
Right.
You know? So they've been there since June. We're guessing this is probably around August, like right before you go back to school.
Okay.
So a couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've been staying at Harold and Roman's. I'm pretty sure.
Well, they said they were seeing them on the weekends.
Yes, but they're staying somewhere, and I remember I think maybe it's just like Eleanor's flat there. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. Then we were talking about Blair saying how she wants to potentially go on a date. Someone, you know, who's intellectual like she is and poised, and like, of course, I guess we're foreshadowing here.
Yeah.
Who could have guessed this?
Right.
So I don't know where they came about this, like Blair telling Serena she needs to choose between Nate and Dan because the girls sit down in what I'm assuming is Eleanor's flat, and she's like, you need to make the decision. You need to tell Nate and Dan who you've chosen. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean chosen? Her and Nate are clearly broken up. So her and Dan are clearly broken up.
Right.
They had one kiss, but they haven't spoken in months. So why are we making this a thing?
And also, if Serena's been frolicking and having dates and having fun,
she's clearly not thinking about it.
I don't think we need to go back and revisit those two.
No, and she even says it to Blair, like, I don't even want to think about them until we're home. Like, I'm on vacation mode. My brain, my hoo-ha, everything is in Paris, and I don't want to think about those guys back home.
Right.
And at this moment, Serena receives what Blair thinks is a course catalog to Brown. However, we find out it's an acceptance to Columbia.
Why do you think it got sent there?
We were talking in the chat. We could have postponed this, but I guess maybe because it's getting close to when you would start the semester, and she wanted to make sure she got her, like, you know, she would okay her acceptance there.
So she okayed this. She gave this address out.
I guess. Right. Which is like, you're rooming with Blair. Don't you think she would come across this? But her plan was to eventually tell her what she does. But
Right.
we know how that happened. And even at that point, Blair is like blabbering on and on how she's so excited for next year because they won't be those two competing best friends and the ones that they seem to end up every season where one of them is, you know, mad at the other. And Serena's like, yeah, totally new start. But obviously she's guilty because she got accepted to Columbia. So we pan to Blair at the Louvre. Pardon my French, guys. I'm not French nor French Canadian. So she's staring at a Monet where a man named Louis comes over and speaking in French to her and claims he's seen her there before and how she's admiring his favorite painting. And he asks her out and he calls her out and he knows she's an American. And she's from New York because her watch is Eastern Standard Time.
Which is funny to me. I guess you just never thought to change your watch or you're just so used to just counting
Just
ahead.
counting, yeah.
Yeah.
So the two end up setting a date for the evening. And as they're about to, get the contacts, what she's assuming is his driver, which it ends up being, mentions the fact that the embassy, something with the embassy and Grimaldi. And so immediately red flags. Blair's like, oh my God, light bulb. Does this mean he's like royalty? And so she like blabs to him like, wait, what do you mean you're Grimaldi? He's like, no. I'm Louis. That's it. Just Louis. I gotta go.
Don't
like,
get ahead
come
of yourself.
on, Blair.
Right.
She's just too hungry. She's like, what?
Yes.
A prince?
Status hungry too.
Yeah,
so
it's
ridiculous.
such a turn off.
I know.
It's such a turn off. So the girls are out shopping because now Blair has to get something to wear. And she mentions to Blair mentions to Serena that she got a text from Louis and it's now going to be a double date because his friend Jean-Michel is in town. And when the girls meet Jean-Michel and Louis for dinner, Louis says that Jean-Michel is the prince and I am his driver. And Blair is immediately like, what? I've never sat in the front before. She's so
He puts the hat
gross.
on and she's so turned off and she's like, I cannot believe this is my life right now. Yeah. And of course, Serena gets to go out with the prince.
Yeah, of course. And Serena's like, we all make our own magic, honey. Like, this is my time to shine.
He's cute.
Yeah.
He's charming. It's fine. You kind of won in this situation.
Right.
Get over yourself.
Exactly. And Blair during dinner is like passively aggressively rude about everything. And Louis is telling the story how he wore jeans and they kicked him out. And Blair's like, oh, well, you know, a suit is a tradition and men should dress appropriately. And he's like, come on, girl. Like, this is not what I signed up for. I thought you were different. Guess there's no growth going on for her in season 4 just yet.
We don't have a growth moment
No
yet.
growth moment yet. And so Blair doesn't really seem to be enjoying herself at dinner and it's extremely obvious. And she's incredibly shallow and she's not really making a good impression. She does take a call from her mother and Eleanor spills the tea about Serena getting into Colombia. Now, why do you think she called her to begin with? Just to to discuss the fact that Serena got into Colombia, or does she have a real reason to call her?
That's such a good point. I didn't even think about that. I didn't know if it was just to check in and see how you're doing.
Maybe. And then Blair's like, what do you want, Mom? I'm on a date. And so she's like, oh, well, you and Serena in Colombia. So, of course, now Blair is pissed.
Yeah.
She comes back into the restaurant, makes a huge scene on Serena getting into Colombia. And so Serena goes after her and explains that she doesn't want to go to Brown. She wants to be in the city with her friends and her family and her best friend. And why can't you understand that? And so the two argue about, this got me, whoever's life was shittiest last year.
It was a shit off.
It was a shit off. It really was a shit off. And Blair's like, but that whole thing with me, not, NYU and then Chuck. And Serena's like, I got into a car accident. I dated a married man. I had an affair. My dad whole situation. I almost got like all this stuff. And I'm like, Serena wins. Serena clearly wins.
Right. Like who, in your opinion, had the shittier take of the year?
Yeah. Serena.
Yeah.
But also like your choice is Serena. But the dad thing wasn't really her choice.
But also your choice is Blair.
And your choice is Blair. So, if you didn't start the rumor with Carr, you wouldn't have not gotten into your dream school.
But also this whole situation, Blair's just being extremely selfish. And not for nothing, Blair, but even if Serena goes to Columbia, the same school you're going to, if you don't grow up, it doesn't even matter. Serena's not going to ruin it for you.
No difference. And so Blair is so taken aback that Serena could be going to the same school as her. And Blair's like, I'm gonna go back in there by myself and I'm gonna tell them that you fell in the fountain. And Serena's like, oh, how are you gonna tell them that? And she's like this, and pushes her in the fountain. So Serena comes back in to the restaurant all soaking wet. Really funny. I mean, the way she's walking in like, I don't even know what, Bigfoot or something. She's like dragging her feet. And at this point, she's like, Jean-Michel, can you walk me home? And Blair and Louis are left at dinner. And Louis is so happy. He's like, I get to spend one-on-one time with you and get to know you. And she's like, Jean-Michel, don't leave. The prince. And he's like, ugh, I knew I should have kept my guard up. They told me this could happen. And she's like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm the prince. Of course.
Duh.
She's like, no. It's like, here's your slice of humble pie, bitch.
That's so unfair for me.
She's too much.
Yeah.
So Serena's drying off back at their loft and
She's packing for New York.
She's packing. She's like, I'm leaving because my friend doesn't want me here. I don't want to be around her. And then this whole scene really just got me. It pissed me off so much. It was so contradictory to me. Blair's actions were extremely contradictory. So she comes in and she's like, please don't leave. I need my best friend. I love you. I just care about you. I'm just thinking about you. But I really need my friend. It's like, well, if you were just thinking about Serena, you wouldn't have said, I really need my friend.
Blair is so insecure.
Oh, it's so just awful to see.
And it's really sad because she's so just cannot deal. And honestly, Serena is her punching bag.
Yes.
Her safety net. Mm-hmm. And kind of the person she knows that she can always turn to and treat like shit and knows she'll probably always be there for her.
Yeah. And Serena's like, I don't understand why my best friend wouldn't want to see me every single day. And Blair's like, you know how hard that would be for me to see you every single day. And Serena's like, that's what friends do. I don't understand. And like, it's so hard for me to like understand this because it's bizarre. I never had a friendship like this before. So their back and forth is so mind baffling to me. And then Serena's like, well, we just had a fight. You pushed me in the fountain and I'm listening to you. I think we're going to mature from here. I'm like, that's your like basis? Your friend just pushed you in the fountain. She's a child.
She's erratic.
Yeah, she's a flight risk. Like, that's it. Like, she's going to do something one day. She's going to light your hair on fire.
She can pop at any second.
moment. And because, like you said, she's so insecure about everything she's doing, and every time she does something, it's like Serena's always that step ahead of her, always in her way, or doing the things that she wants. But it's like, you guys are so completely different,
and it's a you problem,
and you want different things.
And it's a you problem and not a Serena problem.
It's you need to you need to grow and realize that you make your choices. Serena is not affecting that.
But she does come around and like, I'm afraid that I'm going to ruin it.
Yes. She goes, I'm afraid I'm going to ruin us. And then Serena's like, Columbia could either break us apart or, make us stronger. I'm like, what?
Guys, this
like,
is
what
college?
what kind of relationship is this?
Are they going for the same major?
No.
Is it constantly going to be Blair versus Serena at Columbia?
Right. And it's like, you don't even have to room together.
Right.
So why are we making such a production? But, Blair's like, oh, okay, I'll accept it. Yeah, and let me send a blast out to Gossip Girl to tell her that you'll be in New York next year. And that way Nate and Dan can see too.
Right. And you can't change your mind because Gossip Girl doesn't like to lie.
And Gossip Girl doesn't like to be wrong. Yeah. So back in New York City, we're at the Vanderwoodson Humphrey Loft. I don't really know what to call it at this point. I still call it the Vanderwoodson Loft, even though...
Because the Humphreys to me is Brooklyn. The Vanderwoodson Loft is New York.
Yeah.
It's a hard last name to ship.
Yeah, no, you can't ship it. Vander Humphrey. Vander.
You can't. It's unshippable. Like most of the ships on this on this show.
But Lufus, that's a good ship name.
Is it?
I like it.
It flows, I suppose.
Yeah. They seem to have gotten their groove back. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
They spent most of their summer traveling, seeing Jenny and Hudson with Allison. She's doing quite well. Thank goodness.
I wish we saw her, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. Apparently Eric and Elliot are in Italy, so they visited them, and then they also flew to see Cece, which I'm sure was a riot.
Oh, I'm sure. I would have loved to have seen that
and
too.
Lily's like, we couldn't not go,
Yeah.
So they check their messages, and one is from Eleanor reminding them that they have some luncheon thing that they already said yes to a while back. And then one from Bass Industries business manager looking for Lily. And so Lily's like, I wonder if this has to do with Chuck. And Rufus is like, I don't want to hear any shit about Chuck. He's on my shit list, at the top of the list. I never want to see this guy. Don't bring him up in front of me. I don't care what happens to him. Rufus also is surprised that he hasn't heard from Dan.
Yeah.
Why hasn't he heard from Dan? We'll find out very shortly. But he's apparently been texting with Dan, but he hasn't actually picked up the phone to call Dan, or Dan hasn't picked up the phone to call him. He hasn't heard his voice in a while, and he's sending in reinforcements, aka Vanessa.
Right.
So before we get to Dan and Vanessa, Lily and Bruce, the business manager of Bass Industries, meet. And the two discuss how Chuck is missing. And they need to find him because he hasn't paid the mortgage on the Empire since May, and they're ready to close him. Like, that's it. And that they can't go back. And Bruce gives Lily Chuck's last known whereabouts and bank statements and, his credit card information, so maybe she can help and find him. So later on, Rufus sees that Lily has been trying to find Chuck, and of course he's not really into it, but they get distracted because then Eleanor comes over and she's like, "Oh, Chuck? Blair hasn't even told me what happened between her and Chuck." And then to distract Eleanor, Lily's like, "Oh, Serena's got into Columbia." So then that's when she spills the beans.
Right. And she was probably calling to see if she's heard from Chuck.
Calling
Blair.
Who was Eleanor?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes, that's why she was calling.
That's it.
Yeah.
We figured it out, guys. They're probably already yelling at us.
You guys are idiots. Ooh, what?
Yeah. So back. Sorry, I didn't mean to scream. Got too excited. Over to Brooklyn. We pan to the loft. Dan is on the phone with Nate, talking about all the sex that Nate's having. It's so disgusting.
I never eat dinner alone. I just have lots of sex.
It's so gross. It's so gross to me. And the way he says it, it's like, it's such a jackass thing to say, but it's like, that's Nate.
Right.
Which is like not okay, but also it's like okay in this realm. Yeah. But thanks to Chuck's little black book, Nate's getting a lot of sex.
Gross.
And there's like girls everywhere. It's like, it's too much. It's way too much. So he's exhausted, and his buddy Dan's exhausted, but for a completely different reason, in which he has not told anyone his secret yet besides Nate. He's the only one who knows. And so to Dan's surprise, there's a knock on the door and Vanessa is there. And she's like, "What the fuck? We haven't seen each other since I left for her internship, and then they broke up via text message because he kissed Serena and Nate told her." Remember all this that's happening?
Yeah.
All this craziness. And she's like, "Why am I having this conversation with you? Not even inside your apartment. Like, what is happening? Why is your apartment a mess? There's girls' underwear. Obviously, I know what you've been doing." And Dan's like, no, it's not what you think. And she's like, "Oh, really?" And so then Georgina comes out. Oh, yeah.
How I love this character.
And Vanessa's like, "What? You've been dating Georgina?" And he's like, "No." And she's like, "We barely left the apartment." And they're like, "Ew." And he's like, "No, it's not like that. We just had a baby together. His name is Milo. There he is.
Here's Milo Humphrey."
She's like, what?
Can you imagine?
It's like in the cartoon where the eyes blink. It's like, did it? Like, I feel like that was Vanessa, like deer in headlights. Like, what just happened?
But imagine breaking up with someone. You go away because you're interning. You break up via text because
they
heard.
kissed.
And then you show up to talk. The apartment's a mess, and then a baby appears. Oh, by BT dubs, I became a dad. And Georgina is the one who spawned it.
Which makes it the worst thing because Georgina's like everyone's sworn enemy because she's done so much shit to them in the past.
She's not a reliable source, to say the least.
And Vanessa's like, how? What? Like, I don't get it. So Dan and Vanessa end up going for a walk. And while they're on their walk, Georgina is on the phone speaking Russian. I was curious about what she, I think doing on that phone. That's why they sent her away, right?
I think so.
Russia. And the person on the other line is telling her she needs to do it now. And she's like, "I need more time." And they're like, "You get one more day."
Yeah.
Whatever that's about.
Whatever that's about.
We will find out, not in this episode. But she hangs up, and after that, she was using the house phone, a landline, because then after that, Rufus calls the landline and she answers it thinking it was one of her pals. And Rufus is like, "Why are you answering my phone?" So as we said, Dan and Vanessa are catching up on a walk, and Dan admits that he hasn't even gotten a paternity test yet. How are you letting it go this many months without a paternity test?
How we just discussed the cartoon with the eyes?
Yeah. Like,
Also, before when we had that scene with Georgina and she's on the phone with Rufus, and she just stares at the birth certificate. And just like zooming in
on their address.
And also that he hasn't signed it.
Yes. So she needs this signature.
Which I'm assuming is related to this phone call.
Assuming. Yeah. So
yeah, so they haven't gotten a paternity test.
They haven't got a paternity test. He's like, it's really awkward to ask for it now, but I know I should. And you can't get it in the third trimester and something like that.
He also said he was waiting for the crazy to come out, and it never
did. And it never did.
So that's your reasoning?
That's your reasoning.
Because Georgina never went crazy. You're not going to question if this kid is yours.
Right. He's like, she's a good mom. I like seeing her like this, and she hasn't brought that crazy out. So, I haven't really thought about it.
What?
What? That's right. Vanessa's like, dude, you're doing it now. Like, you got to go home and do it. We need to get this done. So later on, at this luncheon at Lily's and Rufus's loft, an aggravated, I guess, Georgina shows up, and she's making this spectacle because she tells Rufus, hey, Rufus, here's your grandson. Psych, Dan and I had a baby together. And Rufus is like, what the fuck? So Georgina calls Dan and puts him on the phone, and Rufus is like, whose baby is this? What is happening? And so Dan decides to go there, and the two of them talk it out. And as we know, Dan told Rufus, I didn't do a paternity test yet, so I don't know if it's even mine. I think it's mine. I don't know. Maybe it isn't mine. Maybe it is.
But also,
I'm pretty sure it's
going
mine.
Around giving this baby the last name Humphrey.
Milo Humphrey.
Why not Milo Sparks Humphrey?
Right.
Or just Milo no last name baby.
Oh, yeah.
But no, it's Milo Humphrey, and Dan's like, sure, I'm not sure if this is my baby, but you're not crazy yet, so this kid can have my last name.
It's bizarre.
What? Padgy, come on.
Yeah, so Rufus, he seems like a little bit relieved that Dan hasn't taken a paternity test, but little do we know, Georgina's like, oh, I did a paternity test. What? Well, okay. Then Dan goes, well, let me call for myself to see what the doctor says. And it's like, well, you're calling Georgina's the person who did the paternity test. So if it's fake, then that would mean that the phone call would also be fake.
Exactly.
It's not like you're getting your own second opinion on this.
Also, thank you so much for Rufus stepping up and be like, no, we have to do this to our own.
We'll do it ourselves.
And Padge is like, but it's fine.
But then Dan signs the certificate anyway. Just by word of Georgina that this is his son.
What?
If you can only see our faces right now.
You can imagine them.
Yeah. So Dan and Lily end up having a conversation briefly about has she talked to Serena? How's Serena doing? And Lily's like, oh, I would like to know if you spoke to her, because I know you guys had a little thing. I'm like, what does everyone know this one kiss?
Serena must have told her.
She must have. Or did maybe Rufus, because Rufus saw Serena in his band t-shirts. Maybe he mentioned it. Anyway, everyone knows that they had this kiss, and it's like everyone still knows that Dan has this big crush on Serena still, which I feel like it's not reciprocated from Serena's end, but whatever.
You mean she has the crush on Padge?
No, it's not. I think he still pines for her, but she's like, whatever.
Oh, for sure, because she changes like the wind. We saw her last season, how many people she was in love with.
Right. So even if Dan still had this feeling for her, to him it doesn't matter anymore, because Serena's not going to be a stepmother. He sealed his fate with Serena, so he says. And then later on, after Dan's had this trying day, he's taking a nap with Milo on the bed. It's very cute. But Georgina she picks up a phone call from Vanessa, and Vanessa's like, I just want Dan to know that I'm still here for him, which I feel like is really big of her, and good friend, good person. If he needs someone to talk to. And Georgina goes, yeah, Dan could really use a friend about now. So it's like, what do you mean by that? I mean, yes, because he's tired and has a son, but something else is going on there. So then she takes a Post-it after hanging up, writes, going to the spa, but then she grabs her passport. So
Right, stressed out. Gone to the spa, and then Georgina in script, which I just feel I want to write on everything. Like when I have to go to the grocery store, I'm just going to write to Aunt, like, stressed out, gone to the spa.
And then she writes G, like a regular G, but then writes the rest of Orgina in script.
Right.
It's just funny.
Her Georgina.
That's one of my favorite quotes in this episode. All right. So while all of that is happening, we do have to add Nate into here.
You know, Nate and his women, in particular one woman, which every season we open up and Nate has a lady that is
a lady friend,
prominently his storyline for the beginning of the season.
It's so tired.
Well, maybe this one's different.
Let's hope this one's different. So as we said, Nate has been around the block for the past couple of months, just, living his best, maybe in worst life at this point. Bachelor life. And, to appease one of them, he takes her out to lunch or breakfast or whatever that was. And she keeps repeating, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. And Nate's like, can you please shut the fuck up? Like, I'm not dealing with this. And they sit like not 6 feet apart from this other girl at a restaurant. Like watching this, I was like,
same.
That's too close.
Same.
Like I would never want to sit that close to anyone ever again.
I know, but that is city dining.
I know. You're like on top of each other. Which this young lady, later on, we find out her name is Juliet Sharp, and she's just trying to eat her lunch in peace. And Nate and the shut up girl end up sitting with her. And this girl ends up on the phone just walking away, and Nate chats with Juliet. And he's like being extremely overly honest on like his fuckboy persona. And she's like, I don't think I like this, but like also it's a little endearing, but also I don't think I like it. Like I'm confused because like you're cute, but I'm confused. And he like kind of the way she's understanding is that he was burned. There must have been some girl that hurt him, and he's like, no, well maybe. She's like, all right, well, your companion over there, she's leaving with someone else. Never quite seen that before. And so Juliet leaves without giving Nate her number, even though he requested it. Because he's like, well, I'm here.
I mean, I might as well.
I might as well just get another phone number out of this. So,
when in Rome.
Yeah, right? Later on, we find out that Juliet volunteers for this event that's at the Vanderwoodson lot.
How convenient.
How convenient, right? Mm-hmm. Now you're putting the pieces together. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So Nate arrives at this party because Lily requested him to go over some of Chuck's paperwork. And he bumps into Juliet and he's like, hey, what are you doing here? And she's like, I volunteered last year and I'm volunteering again. He's like, oh, okay. He's trying to catch up and chat with her. But then he gets a phone call from the Empire that they need him right away to come down. And his suite is being like trashed by all these girls. And they're like jumping on furniture and playing Rock Band and like drinking, and everything's a mess. And he brings Juliet with him.
Why?
Why would she go with him to find all these girls jumping and causing a muck? And he's like, oh, and like I don't really understand if Juliet's like grossed out by this.
Clearly she's doing research,
right? And then she's like, oh, well, if you really want to like talk about feelings, you can have my number. And so she gives him the number. And Nate's like, oh, he has to like clean up this mess. So later on, after Blair texts the Gossip Girl blast telling everyone Serena's going to be in town in the fall, Nate's like, oh man. So he decides he's going to text Juliet, maybe talk about some feelings. We'll find out. But we see Juliet has her own agenda. She's stapling tags back on clothing. She's got to rent the runway tag over there. So then she pans, as she's on the phone with Nate, we pan to this like FBI style like evidence board with like the strings attached everywhere and pictures of all of our characters. And then she even has Gossip Girl up on her computer.
Right. Also, did this have anything to do with that weird true crime 10-second shot we got that I was like, what is happening?
Do you want me to confirm if that has to do with it?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Okay, then what the actual fuck?
It will make more sense next week.
Okay, but just to like bring you all in, It's the scene where it's a Gossip Girl blast on a BlackBerry.
Yes.
A wallet.
Yes.
And a glove, a person wearing a glove, putting almost evidence in a bag.
Right.
And that's it. And then we're like back to the episode. I'm like, wait, I'm sorry. What is happening?
So as I said, it will make more sense.
I know you
next
keep saying
week,
that, but I can't let it go.
But it's not as like detective-y as you think it is.
It never is with this show.
No, when I first saw it, I was like, oh shit, this is like, it must be Gossip Girl, right?
No, I didn't think it's Gossip Girl. But
but to me, I was like, it's Gossip Girl, like putting evidence in a bag. But
I thought it had something to do with Chuck.
It does have to do with Chuck.
Right.
So that's Chuck's wallet.
Yes.
His BlackBerry.
Figured. Okay.
And something else in there.
Was it his passport? No.
Maybe his passport.
Because a body.
Yes, exactly. So again, next week, it will kind of tie in a little bit more.
Okay.
So as we were just discussing our last few scenes, we do see this evidence getting put in an evidence bag. Excuse me. At the Vanderwoodsons, Lily gets a call from the Paris police who told her that a body has washed up on shore. And originally she thinks, oh my God, it's Serena because it's Paris. But it says the ID is Chuck Bass. So now you're like, oh shit, is Chuck dead? He's not dead.
He's not dead.
He's not
we knew
dead.
That.
And so we pan to Chuck, who is like in this immense pain, blood, getting thrown on a bed, and this blonde girl is trying to treat him, aka Fleur.
Fleur.
Just kidding, her name is not revealed yet.
But let's call her Fleur.
But we can call her Fleur for this episode. And Chuck then, what Michelle and I interpreted as like, he's having memories, and then I'm like, yeah, it's like, you deserve to die because of these memories. Like you're getting punched and slapped and, in pain because of your shitty choices in your life. And so he wakes up after being kind of like patched up by this Fleur girl. And he's like, where am I? And she's like, you're safe. She goes, but what's your name? He says, he's looking around. He's like, what's my name? And he's pulling off his like name ring. It has like his initials, which is like glued to his finger at this point. You see like a cut, and he sees Shakespeare, and he's like, my name is Henry Prince. I don't know why that makes me laugh so much.
Also, you could have kept the ring on. It's just two initials. You could be like, oh, it's my parents.
Right. And you can say your name was
whatever,
I don't know,
Bob Cratchit. I don't know why I thought of Bob Cratchit. I think I'm like Charles Dickens.
His name, it could have been anything else, but his name is Henry Prince. And so he takes his ring and drops the ring on the ground, and in that kind of wakes him up from this dream he was having on a train with Fleur. So he's like, oh, and she's like, oh man, I thought those dreams would have ended while we left Prague, but I guess they haven't. But now you're home. And she's like, welcome to Paris. And they kiss. So it's like, something's been going on there. Because obviously, like, she saved his life and she's gorgeous.
And he's dressed like Geppetto.
And he's dressed. I was like, and here's Geppetto Chuck. Because he's like in a normal, like, Porper's outfit for Chuck, It's no suits and ties.
It's cute. It's a blue T button down.
It's more relatable. It's nice. So
Geppetto Chuck.
Geppetto Chuck. I'm just going to call him
Giuseppe Chuck.
Giuseppe. Oh my God. Giuseppe Chuck. That's going to be his name for season 4. Yeah, but that is pretty much everything that has happened in the episode. We are going to take a short break and we will be back with some trivia.
Previously on One Tree Hill.
I'm Simon, and I love One Tree Hill.
And I'm Dom, and I've never seen One Tree Hill.
Join us on The Ravens, a One Tree Hill podcast, as we cover One Tree Hill in its entirety, episode by episode.
Where Simon takes me on a voyage of discovery to One Tree Hill.
We're spoiler-free.
So if you're a first-time viewer of One Tree Hill, or a season pro,
we've got you covered.
You can find us on all podcast platforms.
And at ravenshoops.net.
He just became a raven.
All right, we are back from break. Starting out with some trivia. I have a few bullet points this week. The episode was rated 9.7 on, I'm sorry, 7.9. Oh,
I was like,
a little dyslexic
wow.
moment there. 7.9 on IMDb. So not great, but not
that's
the
still
best.
good. That's still good.
As we said, it was filmed in Paris on location. The episode title is based off the movie Belle de Jour. When Nate meets Juliet, she's reading The House of Mirth, which is described as a satire of New York's wealthy society. Belle's de Jour was watched by 1.83 million viewers and achieved a 1.0 in the adult 18 to 49 demo. Despite the low ratings, the premiere received generally favorable reviews from critics and praised Michelle Trachtenberg and Katie Cassidy's acting and storylines. Mark O. Estes from TV Overmind enjoyed the fact that the episode had explored more adult themes than usual. I suppose.
Like what? Babies?
Right, what was more adult? Eric Adams assessed the relationship chemistry between Blair and Serena. I really liked what he had to say here, and I feel like it puts their relationship in perspective. He says Chuck's survival and the new life are set up to be the episode's big shocker, but I was taken by a different revelation. After Blair decided for the umpteenth time that she was tired of living in Serena's shadows, it dawned on me that Serena-Blair relationship is the great central romance of Gossip Girl. The will they break it off tension between the two characters has informed plenty of plots and multi-episode arcs in the series past, but Belle's de Jour truly let that relationship breathe as it built momentum towards the next episode. Adams praised the casting of Cassidy and the character of Juliet having the most intriguing hand to reveal in the upcoming episodes. The closing montage featured Juliet with pictures and visual cross-references on the Upper East Side, leaving fans to speculate if she was Gossip Girl. An interview with the New York Post dispelled rumors, while Katie Cassidy jokingly stated that she was not portraying Gossip Girl, but understood how the episode could have made that as a setup for fans to assume.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. The scene in which Blair pushed Serena in the fountain was included in Buddy TV's 10 favorite catfights on television. Ooh. Tish found 2 deleted scenes where one, we see Rufus and Padge talking in the bedroom after the reveal of Milo, and the other where Dan is signing the birth certificate and Georgina is booking a one-way ticket somewhere.
Oh, see, that would have been...
Yeah, I think we would have appreciated that more than like the spa.
I mean, but it's so Georgina to leave a little note like that, and I guess it does leave room for mystery. So
yeah. One goof, when Blair was looking at the painting at the museum, her bag kept changing which hand it was. So she would like turn to Louis and it would be in the right hand, turn back, it would be in the left hand. You know.
Maybe she likes to fidget.
Small details. Some music we had by Katy Perry, Jason Derulo, Band of Skulls, Austin, Joyce Jonathan, The Dead Weather, Hannah Brown, and Grand Atlantic. Some questions for us, Michelle.
Yeah.
Mike at Del_Vasto wants to know, since Blair and Serena were shopping away in Paris, if you were in Paris shopping at a shoe store and the owner told you that you can have as many pairs as you can carry for free, how many could you carry? I love this question.
Wow. Okay. So
I'm 5 pairs, maybe? I mean, like...
Do I have bags or I have to carry them in my hands?
No, it's in your hands. That's how I'm interpreting it.
Okay, so a regular shoebox, right?
I wasn't even thinking of the boxes. I was just thinking of the shoes. Like...
Well, if we're in Paris shopping, I'm assuming we're getting the boxes.
Shit, that makes it much harder.
No, it makes it much easier.
You think?
You can stack and carry.
Yes. Good thinking.
I'm the type of person that when I have to take stuff in from my car, I never make multiple trips. I will break my arms.
I'm the exact same way. And isn't everyone? Are you guys? Let us know.
Yeah.
Because.
And also, one of my tasks for my job, I have to do a lot of returns and I have to do a lot of post office runs. You should see me carrying these large boxes and I refuse to make multiple trips. So I am like, you past my head carrying them in.
Oh, so you're already like...
I'm kind of been training for this.
You've been training for this.
I would say...
Trying to think of how heavy. We're both have our arms out. Like, how heavy would this be?
Maybe 6
like
or 8.
3 and 3? Like 3 on one arm, 3 on the other, or 4 and 4?
Or maybe I would have like a long box at the bottom for a foundation, which would be a pair of boots. And then I would pile up smaller shoes. So maybe if I did
Maybe 10.
4. Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Should we try that?
We should try it. We'll let you guys know how it went.
I need some boxes of shoes.
Thank you, Mike. Jess at Mrs. Boquist, are you surprised at the way Blair reacted to Serena going to Columbia?
No.
Hell no. But also, like, come on already. We're season 4, Blair. Get over this.
When do we grow up? Just
I
she's
don't know.
slow.
It's the
to get here.
slowest. It's like so much regression. Every time you think it's like,
Does
it
anyone
doesn't.
on this show ever go to therapy?
I can't answer that.
Right? Because you're a newbie with me
Yeah,
now.
I don't know. I would like to say yes, they should definitely go to therapy.
Just,
But on all of our shows, they all should have went to therapy, and like barely any of them do.
we had like the one summer. Went
The
to
one,
therapy
yeah,
for
and then I
an
think on One
episode.
Tree Hill, a couple of the kids, but
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Will wants to know, why are we spending any time on this Dan-Vanessa relationship? And in other words, why is Vanessa still on the show?
Hey, now, I think if Vanessa didn't come back, I'd be like, where the hell is Vanessa?
Same.
We have a little unfinished business to handle.
We do.
I mean, they've been friends forever and they experienced a relationship and a threesome. So, got to bring it up. Had to bring it up.
No.
I think it makes sense for her to come back. I would react the same way.
Same.
Bro, what's happening?
What has happened to you?
I'm concerned.
Yeah, same. Adriana Marie at Adrienne_Spidel wants to know, what do we think of the Paris fashion for our
Oh
characters?
my gosh, so good. It was
Love it.
So fun.
So perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, she also wants to know, what do you think of the split storylines for all of our characters? So we have some Paris, some New York City.
I think it's great. This episode was really enjoyable. I felt it was a strong premiere, and to come back to season 4, and it really sets up some stuff I'm excited
Yeah,
about.
it definitely does. Vic at Muschick asks if you think they will perform another paternity test on the show.
Yes, but I think it's going to take a couple of episodes.
Who do you think will see each other first? Chuck, Serena, or Blair?
I think Chuck will see Blair.
Okay. She won't see him though? Ooh.
No. And I think maybe he'll start to stalk, or I'm thinking, like, little predict here, but predict does not work. It sounds like a tiny dick. Prediction. Sorry about that. I like to hyphenate a lot of things or shorten things. Predict does not work.
Predict?
A little mini prediction. Does Chuck now is a changed man as becoming Giuseppe Geppetto? He's just like, this is his growth moment.
This is the Phoenix effect.
I flip and hope not. Or it'd be so fun if they did kind of an Emily in Paris thing where Fleur befriends Blair. And it's like, oh, I want you to meet my boyfriend. And then it's freaking Giuseppe Chuck.
Would be good.
It would be really good. So let's do that.
Yeah, I mean, people always say that Emily in Paris has like big, strong Gossip Girl vibes for them. So
Right.
hey,
Yeah.
they learn from the best.
Yeah.
Tish at Tish_Dominique124 asks, how long do you think Milo will be with us till the end of the series?
No way.
Really?
I don't think Milo's going to be with
Stan's
us.
son.
No, it's not. I don't believe it's Stan's
I don't
son.
think there's one person, especially in our group chat and even the newbies, who think this is actually Dan's son.
The only one who thinks it's Padgy's son is Padge.
It's Badge.
Everyone else
He's
is
the
like,
only one.
even Lily's like, I want to hold that delicious baby and smell its head,
But
but
it's not my grandson.
no, and not it. It's a him.
Him,
To
yes.
smell his head.
Thank you to everyone who sent
Thank
their
you.
questions. Fashion and headband. I feel like there was only one brief headband in the beginning.
Which one?
Blair was eating her macarons in front of the Eiffel Tower, and it was like this like studded
Oh, I missed that
metal
one.
headband. But other than that, I didn't see anything.
I really love Serena's green dress
With the ruffle,
So
really liked
cute.
that. I love Blair's beret.
Oh,
So Parisian. And she had to wear a beret in
so
Paris.
fitting. I liked Lily's reading glasses.
She always has the greatest glasses. I liked Nate in that white button down at lunch, but he always looks good in that type of thing.
It was a good look. I liked Blair's orange heels that she was wearing when she was looking at the painting.
I also like Blair's big pearl necklace that like formed into a flower that she was wearing at the Le Louvre.
Yeah. Serena's pants.
The high-waisted pink trousers. Oh my God. I said if I was tall, I would look amazing in that, but my short little legs.
I still feel like we could wear them.
They're so summery.
Well, no, we
right
can't
now.
wear them now.
No, we couldn't wear them now, but like a white tank tucked in, how Serena wore it. Like, it's just so cute.
Even a crop top. I would wear it with a crop top.
So cute.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Dan had like that brownish gray tee that was trimmed in the white. It was like okay.
Bad.
It was good for him because, his fashion choices usually
Not the best.
I did like Chuck's Geppetto shirt.
It was a nice shade of blue.
It was like that denim-y
Chambray.
Chambray, that's
Yeah.
the word, yes. And Flo's plaid dress at the end.
Super cute,
Strapless.
Flo. So nice to see you.
Yes. Some quotes.
Yeah. I'm having lots of sex.
And he says it so nonchalant, like barely even a crack a smile. Like, yeah, I'm having lots of sex. I have sending her to Hudson was a good decision. You know what wasn't? Visiting my mother. I know we had to.
What, you're tired of keeping secrets?
He's probably drunk on some island where polygamy is legal.
I'm not asking you to make predictions, which is so fitting.
Yeah, right? Meet Milo. He's our son.
The food, the shopping, the boys on Vespas.
Serena and those Vespas. A quote I think we both loved. Wow, do not mention her Georgina.
Georgina!
I love it. So funny.
I never sat up here before.
Blair.
Being jealous of her is so Constance.
You would think, but it's not still Constance. It's still Blair.
Yeah.
Got anything else?
Why does Georgina Sparks have a baby? Eleanor kind of muttered that.
I love that scene. I feel like we should have expressed it more, but the two moms, Lily and Eleanor, are like wrapping up the luncheon, and Eleanor's like, what the fuck's going on here? Like whispering. She's like, why does Georgina have this baby? What's happening? You think it stands? And Lily's like, ta-ta.
Bye. And then also, Columbia isn't yours.
Ooh.
It's not.
It's not. It's a huge school.
Yeah.
Huge campus. You guys probably won't even ever have a class together. But that's Blair.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go into MVP and shittiest. I know you struggled with this. I didn't necessarily have like a right away answer with it either. I don't think people are going to be happy with my MVP choice, but we'll see. My evil laugh. You still need a moment?
No, I guess
You think you know?
I guess I have one.
Okay.
I don't like my MVP or my shittiest, and with certain people they could be interchangeable.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Vanessa.
Serena. Oh, nice. Oh, I like Vanessa for
Yeah,
that.
I feel like people wouldn't like that, but she walked in. She's like, what's happening here? You haven't spoken to me in months. And then at the end, she's like, you know what? I'm still your friend. We're still okay.
And
like,
dude,
okay,
get a paternity
But
test.
get it together.
Yeah. I chose Serena. I think she's just there for Blair being the punching bag. And that's pretty much it.
Tish and Vic also agreed with Serena.
Yeah.
Mike picked Georgina because she's always stirring the tea. And
it.
Jess actually picked Nate. She loved Nate in this episode.
Okay. I didn't hate Nate.
I did not hate Nate either. Can you ever hate Nate?
It's been a minute since I have.
Same. Shittiest. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Blair.
Yeah.
Like I get why she's lashing out, but it's like that was so Constance, Blair. You've been in college for a year. Grow up.
I also don't think you had to push your best friend in the fountain.
Wasn't necessary. That was like the pettiest shit you could have done.
You could have just been like, hey, can you just leave?
Can you go
please
back to the
leave?
hotel?
And Serena
Because
probably would have left.
she would have.
Because we don't need this.
Yeah. very petty. Mike, Vic, and Tish also picked Blair. Jess picked Georgina. You know, so that was MVP and Shittiest, guys.
Wow. First of the season.
First of the season. Excited. Okay, so now we have a little fun segment, our Betty of the Week. Instead of Patron of the Week, we decided to call our patrons Betties because our network is called Total Betty Media, and you guys are all our Betties.
Yay!
You're a total Betty. You're a total Betty.
This week, we wanted to welcome the new class to Total Betty Media.
The new class.
We've had a surge of pledges since we've last wrapped on season 3. So we want to shout out the new class. We have another Jessica B. How weird is that?
Okay.
Both Jessica B's. Emily H, Kaylee W, Kira A, Kaylee H, and Arnell.
Oh my goodness.
Hey,
Welcome,
guys.
new class.
The new class. It's like Saved by the Bell, the new class, but
Yeah.
also it's like, you guys, we don't put you in the category of Saved by the Bell.
No, because we didn't.
Because
No.
it's not good. The whole thing with, it's not good.
No, it's not
But we
good.
love you guys.
Yeah, this is good.
You guys are good, the good new
Good,
class.
good.
And we just want to say welcome. Thank you. We hope to get to know you. And we're just excited that you decided to join us. Why did you guys, let us know why you decided to become a patron. We want to get to know you guys. So thank you to the new class.
And also,
welcome.
if you are a little confused by now and you didn't listen to our network news, we are a new production company.
Yes, we are.
We've rebranded. We're no longer It Takes 3 Network. We're under Total Betty Media. That's why it's Betty of the Week. In case you're like, well, where'd that come from?
And I think it's so great that since we've made the changeover to Total Betty Media, we've had all these people come and wanted to join our little community.
Yeah. And
It means a lot that you guys like where we're headed,
yes.
and we appreciate that.
So much. You have no idea.
No idea. No clue. Okay, Michelle, I'm going to give you the title for next
Yay!
week.
Do you like this episode?
This is the highest rated episode of the entire season. I won't go with the entire series, but the highest rated episode of the season. Tease, my sister, will be on next week because
Shanaka.
she requested a long time ago to be on this episode because it's one of her absolute favorites.
So that means that
What does that mean, Michelle? I haven't even given you 3 gossip words yet.
I know I'm jumping the gun. You haven't even given me the title. So you do that first and then I'll
Okay.
tell you what that means.
Title for next week: Double Identity.
Oh, shit. Okay.
3 gossip words are
3 gossip words.
choice, fishing, reacquainted.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're getting Giuseppe
Chuck.
Chuck and Blair because your sister is a huge chair
Huge
fan.
And in her day, she was a huge chair fan, yeah.
So I think this is what's going to happen. So, okay, so I'll take back the whole Chuck seeing Blair first, and maybe he does. And I'm not sure if he's going to make the choice to fake that he doesn't know her, or he's going to make the choice to get to know her because he's so taken aback by her beauty that he gets reacquainted with her. And she's like, what do you mean you don't know who I am? And that we could play with the emotions there.
So you think he's going to have like a memory loss?
Yeah.
And I love this, by
Yeah.
the way. Mm-hmm. A memory loss where he's like, he didn't remember he even knew Blair, loved Blair. He just knows his new life.
He just has this
so
gut,
Gossip
It's almost
Girl.
like he has this gut feeling attraction towards
like
her.
a comfortable familiarity
Right.
thing.
I don't know
Mhm.
why, but I feel that I have to like reacquaint myself with you.
Yeah.
And I'm making the choice to do that. Or he has to make the choice of like, do I even go to see her? I do know who that is.
Right.
It could go either way.
Right. Like, oh, Blair is in my vicinity. I could make the effort to go and see her or not.
Right. And then the whole fishing thing, like, I'm not going to lie to you. Part of me wants Giuseppe talking a boat fishing. And the other part of me thinks it's Juliet Sharp fishing for information.
Love it. That's how I meant it. That's how I meant it, yes. But I wanted to throw you off, and I was like, I wonder if she thinks that they're going to go on a boat fishing. I'm like, it could go either way, but it still could go either way. They could still go on a boat
really
fishing.
It could actually go in and mean nothing, or we see a fisherman, but I think it's fishing for information when Juliet and Nate go for coffee.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful predictions.
Thanks. I'm excited.
I'm super excited.
Yeah.
So this is usually the time where I would ask Michelle who she believes to be Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that this week or ever again because she has true confirmation of who, in fact, Gossip Girl is. And this is what I was teasing at on Insta Stories. We've been holding on to this secret for a few weeks now, and we're going to start an After Dark segment. We're bringing it Let's Talk OC style, because I know you guys love that. And we're excited because, hey, shit happens and you make it work.
This is all entirely true, and I cannot believe that it happened.
We cannot believe it, but also it's like, you know, it is what it is.
I guess
go with the
so.
flow.
Yeah, we go with the flow, but After Dark. So stay tuned for After the Credits. If you're not a newbie, I'm going to tell the story of how it happened.
And who, in fact, is Gossip Girl.
Who, in fact, is Gossip Girl. And my plans for After Dark is to tell you why I feel this person is ridiculous to say that they are Gossip Girl.
Yeah, so we're going to spin it into a how could they be, how can't they be Gossip Girl segment.
Pretty much, I'm going to be Juliet Sharp.
Yeah. XOXO.
Right.
So I'm sure all of you OG fans of the show are excited. We're excited. To those newbies who do not know who Gossip Girl is, I suggest you be blissfully ignorant and blind as long as you possibly can. But it's up to you. It's your prerogative. If you want to, listen along and get these spoilers, we, love to have you, but I don't urge you to do so because I would never do that to you.
I would say don't.
I would say don't. It ruins it. It ruins
kind
the fun.
of does ruin a little bit of fun, but we're still going to have fun.
Yes.
It just,
We're going to have fun.
we are.
So with all that being said, this is the part where we're going to wrap it up. We appreciate every single person for listening. We love you all. You're the best. If you would please consider leaving us a rating and review on Apple Podcast. It will help us out more than you would ever know. Helps us get on those top charts, be seen by other Gossip Girl loving peeps out there. And we will see you guys next week. Double identity. And send those questions over for my sister because I'm sure she's going to be excited to answer them. All right, stay tuned for After Dark. You know you love us.
XOXO.
Gossip Girls.
After Dark.
After
Dark.
Oh my goodness.
It's kind of fun to
It's
bring
fun.
this little segment. It's like we're bringing something from our OC love.
Yeah.
Only this is all Gossip Girl.
All Gossip Girl related, but take it away, Michelle,
Okay.
with your story on how you came to know who Gossip Girl is.
All right, guys. So I'll paint the picture for you. It's a Saturday morning, like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Aunt and I are going to get coffee. And I get an Insta story sent to my personal Instagram
Yes.
from one of my best friends. And
We won't call her out.
no, I won't give a name. And it says, it's like finding out that Lady Whistledown is Dan Humphrey. And Lady Whistledown is from Bridgerton. Okay, so I'm not stupid. I used context clues.
Sure you did.
And I read this and I send a response back to my friend and I said, is this a spoiler? Because I don't know who Gossip Girl is. And so she sends me a huge paragraph of like, oh, is it? I don't know. I watched Gossip Girl, but I don't really remember details. And so I can't get this out of my mind. So I tell Aunt. Aunt knows who Gossip Girl is.
Yeah, Aunt looked it up after he came on our episode.
Right. So I read the message to him and he smirks. And he's like, I'm not going to say anything. And so I was like, all right, well, what do I do? He's like, well, I'm not going to confirm anything. I was like, yeah, but I'm pretty sure in my heart of heart and guts that Padgy Boy is Gossip Girl because this is the only thing this could mean.
Right.
If you watch Bridgerton, you know what I mean. It makes sense. So I break the news to Liz.
And so this is a few weeks ago, as we said, and she says, okay, so I have something I need to tell you. I don't know how you're going to take to it, but I think I knew who Gossip Girl is. And I was like, fuck, who? And you're like, okay, I'm going to turn around and I'm not going to look at you, but I'm going to tell you the story. And so she tells it to me. And I'm like, you know, I'm sitting and I'm thinking, and I'm like, she goes, so we could do it a few different ways. We can open up season 4 and you can confirm for me that this person is Gossip Girl, or you can keep me in the dark and I can keep thinking this person is Gossip Girl. I don't know why I'm so innate to like saying this person, Dan, is Gossip Girl. She goes, so I don't know how you want to do it. And she goes, but also I don't want to like make my predictions of who I think Gossip Girl is each week if like I think it's Dan. So I feel like that would be like a farce. Like I'd be lying. Right. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. So I'm like thinking, I'm like eating, I'm like thinking for a little bit. And within like 5 minutes, I was like, yeah, so Dan's Gossip Girl.
I know, we went.
Because I didn't want to like, it was hard for me to like, it's not like I'm lying to you, but I feel like you're going to just keep thinking this over and over and over again. And then how annoying for our listeners for you to be like, I think it's Dan this week. I think it's Dan this week because I think I know it's Dan this week. Like they wouldn't want to hear that.
Right. And I discussed it with Anne. I'm like, I either can not tell Liz.
Right. Which would have been awful, you holding that in, I think.
And just keep up
like
this
keep like this
lie.
blind, or like you just thinking you know who it is without confirmation.
But like why that then again,
no, it doesn't make any sense.
That story confirms it.
Right.
So
we decided to do this segment after dark where, and there are many articles out there, and I have told Michelle this, that there are people that have watched this show over and over again and have made BuzzFeed articles on how Dan cannot be Gossip Girl. Like, this makes no sense here. It couldn't have been him from day one, yada, yada, yada. So this is where we have our like open discussion of like, how the fuck could it be him? Or yes, this makes sense that it's him.
Right. And that's why I literally feel like Juliet right now with the lines and be like, okay, this can be. Because I was saying, even during this episode with the narration of them in Paris, like usually.
Right. Michelle's like, how could he be in Paris?
And then I'm thinking, like, does this end up being where we're all seeing a story that he wrote and then where they filled in the blanks, and so that's how it makes sense? Like Serena and Blair told him their stories of being in Paris.
I see what you mean. So like, this is us. It's kind of like in the future. Right. We're hearing what like the narration of how he figured out all this stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So I thought that.
Okay.
And then I'm like, okay, am I reading too much into it? Which Shanna would say yes. Because
you are.
Told your sister and Ryan that I knew who Gossip Girl is, and they said so.
She's like, all right, so, you know, it is what it is. And I was like, yeah, you're right. It is what it is. And she's like, there's so much other shit that, like, you don't even know that's happening. Michelle clearly doesn't know what's going to happen.
Which is true. It's just this has been such a big part.
So it's such a big part, yeah.
It's kind of like, well...
And and I said, honestly, I'd rather you find out now than us be like 2 episodes away from the series finale and like, then you get the confirmation. I'd be like, fuck, we really made it that far and you, that's it, you know?
Right.
So I said, hey, we watched 3 seasons blind and now you'll watch 3-ish seasons knowing who it is.
But also, okay, so in this episode, we're getting the narration of them in Paris. How is Padge giving those Gossip Girl blasts? Who's tipping him off?
Unless Blair
Paris?
keeps messaging him like she did that Serena's coming back to town.
I guess she could to keep up her appearances. So that would make the most sense. Mm-hmm. And also, my hopes are that we find out who Gossip Girl is and Padge explains himself, how he's done it, what made him do it, which I'm pretty sure what made him do it is that like he was such a loser inside and just wanted to be a part of this world. Totally fine. I'll get it.
Yeah.
But I need to know how you did this.
Right. Like, how is it feasible? Did you have help?
Who's help? Well, who's tipping you up? Like, obviously people can write into you and you're like, maybe he's like, actually, I don't really actually do a lot of it.
Yeah,
I
maybe
created
other
it,
people just did it. I kind of created it and then it just
spread,
flourished. Yeah.
And it spread. And because like right now you're so occupied.
He's so disconnected. So
You
how
have
does
a
that make any sense?
baby.
Right.
So to care about what Serena and Blair are doing in Paris, it doesn't line up.
Right. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
So, and there's so many other things since day one that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like when we're done with this show, I'd love to read them all because I think that would be just like a really fun like bonus episode just to read of all the single reasons that people have compiled and took the time and hours and hours and hours to compile this list and reasons why. But when you rewatch, and even me knowing who it is, but never actually seeing that moment, like I know the moment of when he kind of like reveals, but I've never actually watched that scene, so I'm waiting until we like watch it together to do that.
Cool.
But it just, some of it I'm like, huh? I remember like years ago when my sister finished the show and she's like, fucking damn, it's Gossip Girl. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like out of everyone,
I guess though
then everyone was like, we wish Dorota was Gossip Girl.
Oh my gosh, I would have been so happy if Dorota was Gossip Girl.
There are lots of people out there that are like, you should just make Dorota Gossip Girl.
You should, because she's the one who's in it, and we think she's so meek, but she could have done that.
She could have done it
100%.
I know that would have been better, but then again, maybe predictable. But my sister seemed to believe that they kind of went as they go, and they had an idea of who they thought Gossip Girl was, but then they didn't stick to it. But then Jillian said that she read an article that it was like from day one they knew it was Stan. So,
but like for it to be Padge, it kind of throws you because you're like, wow.
Right.
Out of all of them, it's you.
In the beginning of the show, you're kind of like, all right, it would make sense here. Right. But then as he grows, we loved College Padge, you know?
I was a fan.
Does it make sense as he progresses as a character?
Or is it so set up at this point you can't let it go?
You can't let it go.
Or who's
kind of like catfish. Like, I can't stop doing it.
And who's the successor?
Right. Do you pass it on to someone?
And then this whole Juliet Sharp, I think she's trying to figure out who Gossip Girl is. Like, she's reading the book on the lavish lifestyles.
Right.
So maybe she's doing inside research of like, okay, these particular group of kids are obsessed with their lives being on blast in Gossip Girl, and they're all connected. So I want to know more about it. I'm writing a piece. I could see her writing a piece. She's playing a part with the tags.
Oh, yeah. She needs to look like she is in their lifestyle.
Right.
But she's clearly not.
No, clearly not.
On the outside.
Sure.
We don't know like what her life story is just yet. But we did have a treat from Will this week that I wanted.
A little treat.
Yes, a little treat. I wanted to add into the episode because he takes the time to do this, and why? I mean, everyone should hear the main characters in Gossip Girl as working class people.
Yes. Yes, they should. They deserve it.
What job would they have, he says. We have Blair, Forever 21 clerk. Serena, detective. She hates liars.
I mean, yes.
This one gives you vibes. Dan, that guy who works in the back of the bookstore and scowls when you start reading that cover of Danielle Steele novel.
Yep, that's correct.
Yep. Rufus, record store buff, knows every band. So perfect.
Isn't that Rufus?
Rufus, that is Rufus. Chuck, middle management. Without money, he has some cunning but little skill.
True.
Nate, this one kills me. Park ranger, loves to run in the park. Vanessa, dispensary clerk. Lily, groupie.
Yeah.
Eric, counselor.
Yeah.
He would be a great counselor.
Yeah.
Jenny, seamstress.
Yeah.
And Georgina, a traveling salesman. Yes, because she's a bullshitter.
Want to buy my knives?
You want my dictionaries?
Yeah, my dictionaries, my knives. Thank you, Will.
Thank you, Will.
Love your treats.
Yes. So now if you know who Gossip Girl is, you've seen the show, or even if you decided to stick around and you haven't seen the show, but you know who Gossip Girl is. Hey Tish, I think you're one of those
Yeah,
peeps.
hey,
I don't know if you
Tish.
stuck around.
Here's what's really funny, Tish. When we had
Oh my
our
God, yes.
group hang, we had our group hang on our Patreon. It's a perk of ours in the Upper East Siders tier. And it was in the beginning of the month, and we were all catching up and we're talking about it.
It was like literally that day that you told
yes,
me.
that was the day I told Liz. And Tish, she said, oh, I found out who Gossip Girl was. And I think her and Jess were saying like, oh, I'm so happy, Michelle, that you don't know who Gossip Girl really wins it. I just sipped on my kombucha. I just kept taking sips.
Yep. And I was like trying not to laugh or smirk. but-
And I was just like, just stay quiet. Just stay
Right,
quiet.
I was like, I can't tell them now. I can't break their hearts now.
No. But that's how long we've been keeping this. So almost a month.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
So I guess that story happened not even 3 weeks ago. More than that at this point.
Yeah.
Time is weird. So
I know. I'm
Everything
looking
is
at-
3 weeks ago.
I'm looking at the calendar. I'm like, wait, we're into almost February at this point, recording it. Oh, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey to you, those people who have seen the show. If you'd love to send us a After Dark question,
Yeah.
or a reason of why you don't believe Dan to have been Gossip Girl in this episode, or the reason you think he is Gossip Girl, we'd love to hear.
Yeah, and I also want to know, what was your reaction?
Yes, I would love to hear if any of you have had someone ruin it for you, or if you watched straight through and you were like, wait, that's the end? That's what happens? What were you thinking?
And we could also include in here, because I wanted to know, like, we've all, I think, been spoiled with certain parts of shows, as we even said it before. And I was like, I was thinking, send us what got spoiled for you, but then that spoils for us.
That spoils for other people,
So I'm curious if OC or One Tree Hill got spoiled for you. So send that here too, because we can have that discussion.
That's a good idea. If you have watched those shows and you don't mind spoilers for those, then let us know.
Right. That's true. We can preface that.
Yes.
But
It's kind of just an after dark.
just conversation. I'm
Free for
excited
all.
though, because now, as soon as the episode started, I was like, I'm looking at Padge way
Totally
differently.
different.
So my eyes are going to be watching like a hawk, which I know I shouldn't, because it's not really a big part.
Yeah, I mean, I watch it in a more like subdued version of how you're watching it now, because I've known since we've started watching and doing this podcast that it is him, but it's like I don't even focus on it.
I know, and you're not supposed
Because
to.
you're not supposed to just yet. And that's funny too, is like, of course it happened right before we kind of get into like more of the nitty gritty of
Right.
the Gossip Girl stuff. But it's okay. It is what it is. We can't do anything about it. We can't go back. Just got to go forward. And I was telling Michelle, I was like, hey, maybe this is like the thing that people really start to enjoy about our podcast.
Oh, I think they're enjoying our podcast.
Like, I mean, more so than, like the fashion, whatever it is.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
like
I
a
look
fun
forward,
segment.
I look forward to After Dark.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun. To those newbies who aren't listening right now, sorry guys.
Well,
but
they
to you
don't know.
OGs,
They don't know.
yeah, this is going to be fun. We're going to have a good time in After Dark.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to 3 Gossip Girls. You can find us on all social media platforms at 3 Gossip Girls Pod or at 3gossipgirlspod@gmail.com.
This has been a Total Betty Media podcast, produced and edited by Michelle Rubenstein and Alyssa Tenyo, music by Anthony Vaccaro.